up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Three Guys Walk Into a Dungeon podcast, joined by our experts here, Saanchips and Tizzle. How you guys doing?
Good.
What up?
What up, what up? How's everybody doing today?
Excellent.
Yeah? You guys
Yeah,
missing some Diablo or what?
Oh my god, dude, I'm jonesing
I
for it.
know.
Oh.
I know, I
Yeah,
didn't
kind of.
I didn't think I would, but I'm sitting here like, gosh, I don't want to play anything else. I just want to play some Diablo. June 6th can't come soon enough. The server slam. I kind of wanted to ask you guys what you thought of it. Saanchips, you want to go ahead and tell us what you
Server
thought?
Slam. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, you guys saw I didn't get to play it very much because of real life stuff, and it was during Mother's Day weekend and all that stuff. So I tried to
Oof.
get on when I could, but only got maybe 3 to 5 hours of gameplay in. But what I did do, made me really excited for the game. I did get a sorceress to level 20. And then after that, like at the last minute, these guys carried me through Ashava, and I thought that Ashava was, I thought Ashava was pretty wasn't that bad. It was I liked having mechanics in a Diablo game. I feel like we haven't really had that very much, but
No.
yeah, it was before. It's always just like kind of tank and spank and then run away and then hit and run away and hit, but like having real mechanics on a boss in Diablo was interesting. I thought it was really fun. I didn't think it was that bad considering I had no idea about what mechanics. I didn't know anything until like 2 minutes before we started, and Tizzle was like, just gave me a 2 minute brief about what to do, and you're able to do it. So real tier one, it wasn't that hard, but it was. I could see how it could get hard. And then after that, I did a barb, and I didn't get very far into it, but I think I really liked it. I think I'm going to start with a barb at launch. And I really liked that kick. I saw that Tizzle was doing a kick build, and it was hilarious. And that I definitely just want to go around and kick things. Like that's all I want to do. But when you talk about pros on the Server Slam, I thought that the game was really polished. I thought the animations looked really good, and I was actually really surprised that the servers were able to handle the load. I didn't have any issues. It was probably the smoothest beta or anything from Blizz in a launch for a while for me. So other than that, the only thing I can think of is I mean just like little things like I wish I could just zoom out just a little bit more, but I think that might be just how Blizz intends it to be. So I don't know if that's something that is just what I want. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. So we got a barb player, huh? That's what you're
Yes.
thinking, huh? Okay.
I just
And
want a 300 kick stuff over and
Yeah,
over
dude.
again. That's all I want to do.
The
and
kick is so good.
So
It,
cool.
it reminds me of that remember that one scene from Kill Bill where he like fucking just kicks down the door with a shotgun?
oh yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
How about 300? You're just 300
Yeah,
kicking
straight up
everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's, like, that's all I want to do.
Yeah, just Spartan kicking them.
I
Yeah,
don't need a weapon. I
that's
just want to kick.
it. Did remind
So
me a
good.
lot of the kick build from like Diablo 2 Assassin and stuff too. So that was kind
Yeah,
of cool. Saanchips, you did get your Cry of Ashava
I did get
mount
it.
trophy. All right, good,
Yes, I did
good.
get it.
All right,
Cry
cool.
of
So
Ashava right here. This
that's
guy.
right. Yeah, you're gonna be flexing with that.
Yeah.
You're the especially because you're the cosmetic guy, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear it and I'm just gonna just have it at all times. Look at me.
Nice, nice.
Look
Well,
at me now.
congrats, man. All right, Tizzle, what do you got? You know, how did you think of the server slam? What'd you play?
Oh man, it was so good. Like I really dove into a lot of technical stuff. I was trying to figure out best leveling strategies. I really enjoyed the barb, kind of like what Saanchips was talking about with. I was trying to test out double swing because they buffed it a little bit. Where basically now, whenever you have a stun target, you refund your fury for double swing. So it's a
Mm.
really strong single target build. So I was just running kind of like ground stomp and kick, which if you kick someone into a wall, they turn stunned as well. So it was really fun to play. yeah, I dove into the technical side. I was kind of testing kind of if World Tier 1 was viable for speeding to World Tier 3. I was testing out World Tier 2, kind of like there's a little shenanigans going on with the events. So I was testing out like the scaled EXP for how much you get for events, because that may be a strategy, and we'll kind of dive a little bit into that.
Okay.
So those are the two main things that I tested out. Obviously did Ashava. Ashava was really cool. I killed it probably 7 or 8 times.
All right. All
Dang.
right.
All right. Okay. All right. So,
All right. All right.
So
you
I
know, we
was
want
7
a
or
little
8
bit of this
times,
glory
okay.
too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get 7 or 8 Ashava trophies?
Yeah.
That would be
You
cool,
only
actually.
get one, huh? You only
Just the
get
whole-
one.
You just start
like
stacking
us
them
little
up on
people.
top.
the whole fucking horse just full of horns.
The horse, you're like running through sand, and the horse is like sunk down.
Have Ashava's molars.
You might as well just
so
strap the whole corpse to the mount.
You just
Drag it.
ride the mount trophy. You're just like riding the horn.
All right, we get it. You're the Ashava like freaking genius. All right, we got it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was good. It was fun. And then what else? I was testing out some builds, mostly with Druid and kind of the min max of leveling, because there are some strats that I'm kind of figuring out as I go, that you kind of want to go AoE and then you want to swap back to like a single target for the bosses, because they actually take a long time if you're playing solo. And so if you're stuck with like an AoE build, there's you want to swap to single target, especially early on, because the refunds are free up to level 20. So I was playing around with that.
All right. Well,
What did you think?
Yeah, what did you think, Matt?
for me, okay, so I have a few things that I think. Okay, so I leveled a barb originally because I wanted to try it since I didn't really get to try much melee last time. So I tried a barb. It's pretty fun. Early on, I was not digging it too much, just because I do not really care for the primary skills too much. I like the core abilities, but repeatedly smashing bash and it just looks like the same animation over and over again was just not very fun to me. But I know it's like that's like an early game kind of gripe. Once I got it up to 20, it was more fun. I was messing around with like Hammer of the Ancients build, and I messed around with the Rend build a little bit. I did like spontaneously try to kill Ashava, like because it just popped up, and I was like, oh shoot, I should probably go do this, and kind of forgot that I was in World Tier 2 and I had no gear. So I went in and just completely just barely did any damage to it, and it got away. But then I messed around with it some more, and then I finally said I kind of want to go try out the rogue a little bit. And then it was no looking back from there. I just kind of stayed on the rogue, and I just really like it. I like the twisting blades. I like the smoke grenade. I like the play style of the rogue. So I didn't really play the.
Did you think anything else would have happened? You the 1 minute you started playing that, you would have been like, that's why I'm playing.
It was either rogue or it was
Yeah.
source. Probably going to be rogue for me for sure. I did end up killing Ashava. That was fun. I liked it on the rogue. It was really fun. I liked going in and out and kind of doing that. So that was cool. So I'll have my mount trophy. I won't be crying about that. So that's good. But yeah, that
The cry about Ashava
cry about
trophy.
Ashava. Yeah, I heard there were some people pretty upset.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
dude. I
uh,
heard that too.
I mean, well, I do understand.
I get it. There wasn't enough time.
I'm wondering
But
if some people did the same thing that I did and kind of forgot they were on World Tier 2 and maybe didn't think about going to World Tier 1. I don't know. That could be something.
Well,
Also,
it's also pretty shitty because you only had half of Sunday, which was Mother's Day,
mhm.
yeah,
and so you're not going to be geared up enough. If you played
right.
2-3 hours, right?
I get it. People have obligations, and probably the demographic of this game is probably close to what we are. So I didn't play it all Sunday. I know. I think Saanchips. I don't think you played. Tizzle. I don't think you really played either. Did you?
No.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I thought that was bad planning on Blizzard's part. Put it on Mother's Day weekend, but oh, and I heard there's a really good game out. I think it's called Zelda or something. I don't know. That's what I heard. Somebody told me that.
Zelda's
Yeah,
dope.
that also came out too. So I know a lot of
I've
people
never
kind of.
heard of it. I've
You haven't
never
heard of
heard
it?
of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to
No.
be like this really cool
How do you
game.
spell it?
Um, I'm not even
Zalda?
sure. Yeah, we'll have to look it
Yeah.
up. We'll talk about it. But yeah, so that was me. You Tizzle, you mentioned that you kind of tested out some leveling builds or some leveling methods, I should say. Can you kind of go into that? I think you were saying it was World Tier 1 versus World Tier 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there's basically kind of two schools of thought. There's the
I mean,
you want
to be real, the fastest way would be to do that battle pass, right? You just pay for it,
yeah, no,
right?
no,
You
no,
pay
dude.
for the. I know. I played Diablo Immortal. I know. You buy that battle pass, and then you can just
Oh
level to
Lord.
the max level right at the
Dude,
very beginning, right?
now we know who hurt you. Now we know who hurt you.
Show
That's how it's
show
done,
us on
right?
the doll where Diablo Immortal touched you.
Oh, and we'll talk about the battle pass at the end, but it's not pay to win. It's actually not pay to win, which I thought was like I thought for sure they were gonna sneak in some bullshit with like stash tabs or like something kind of sussy.
Yeah.
They did add EXP potions, but we'll talk about how even that's not pay to win later on.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
let's get into this World Tier 1, World Tier 2 thing that you were talking about.
so there's two trains of thought. There's the fastest way to get to World Tier 3, and the significance of that is because you're going to start dropping unique items, which are super rare. Like you kind of build around these uniques. Uh, and in World Tier 4, they have ancestral drops, which is basically just the upgraded version of uniques, and they roll up to like 5 affixes, so they're super strong. And those ones, so people want to rush to be able to have the opportunity to get those items. And the other kind of school of thought is I just want to get to Paragon level 100. And
Holy moly!
yeah, and so they really don't care about like the gearing process. They feel
Mhm.
like they just want to be like super leveled up so they can mess
So
around.
they're rushing the Paragon 100, and then they start grinding for gear.
It'll probably be a mix of like they'll probably get to like level 25 Paragon, I think,
Hmm.
and then they'll start, progressing or just be strong enough because there are some breakpoints in the Paragon board which spikes up your damage. So they'll probably play a strategy to get them to Paragon like 25, hit that power spike, and then maybe do the campaign. Because the thing with doing the campaign when you're such a high level is the world scales with you, so the mobs are going to be harder to kill, which is not always fun because you're just not going to be strong enough to kind of like just blast through the campaign. And some people like that challenge, some people don't. So there's kind of that. So that's kind of the two trains of thoughts.
You were talking about AoE versus single target, and do you kind of want to elaborate on what you were talking about there?
Yeah, and all these things I'll have it in the links too of
Okay.
this podcast, and you can see my whole run. I timed it and everything. I did a druid. I ran basically the same spec just to kind of get an idea of how fast like tier 1 versus tier 2 is.
Okay.
So if anyone's interested in that, feel free to kind of check that out and run through it.
Yep. So
So
those links will be in the description if
okay,
anyone wants to check those out.
the thing that I was kind of figuring out as I was rushing through the campaign is that for one, there's not a lot of mob density if you're just doing the campaign, which can factor in a couple things. Like if you're doing it on World Tier 1, you basically one-shot everything.
Hmm.
World Tier 2 is maybe like a 2-shot or 3-shot on some elites. If you play on World Tier 2, and this was only for Act 1 because this is the only thing we have access to, there wasn't a lot of mob density to kind of justify going and playing Tier 2. The bosses have like 100% more hit point, it seemed like. That's kind of a guess, but it was definitely, and you can see in the linked videos, that it definitely took a while to kill these bosses and stuff.
So it's not worth the extra to do that. It's better just to go easier on World Tier 1, just level quicker that way.
Yeah, if you're trying to get to World Tier 3 the fastest that you can to start having the opportunity to get those unique drops, it's probably better just to go on World Tier 1 and zoom past all of the campaign really quick.
So
Because
will you, if you only do World Tier 1, will you have enough gear to do World Tier 3 when it's time to do it? Or will it just be something where like you're gonna be massively under geared for it?
so they have this thing called a capstone dungeon.
Mm,
And the capstone dungeon is kind of a gear check. It's
mhm,
you do it at the end of World Tier 2 after you complete the campaign. And it's basically like a dungeon that's pretty difficult. So you have to be geared up to complete it, and then you'll have access to World Tier 3.
mhm.
So you do have to kind of understand like the AoE build, your single target build on your class that you like to play, because there will be an end boss um, in World Tier 2 that you will have to kind of prioritize certain skills over just to complete it and get into World Tier 3.
So if you can get past that capstone dungeon, you're probably pretty good to start World Tier 3, right?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. For sure. And then, that unlocks a lot of the events. Um, and this is spoilers, so if you don't care for it, just kind of skip forward. But there's going to be basically like a bounty system. There's going to be a PvP zone, which rewards gear as well. There's going to be
Oh,
nightmare
because I remember
dungeons.
last time you said the PvP was just for cosmetics, right?
Yeah, yeah, yep. Well,
But now it's not, right?
now it's not. They kind
Hmm.
of changed that from because the information that I got was probably from about 9 months ago, and so they updated it on some of these in-game betas.
I thought we had an expert on our hands here. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Well, that's the thing,
That's
though.
for from 9 months ago.
Things change so much in the betas. Things change. So it's kind of good to keep up, but it's kind of not good to
Yeah,
keep up
yeah,
as
yeah,
things change so much.
yeah. Which is
So
good. I mean, if they're no, if they're recognizing things that need to be changed, that's good. You know, the capstone dungeon that you're talking about, that's gonna be pretty tough, right?
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing though. If you rush World Tier 1, you may not be strong enough because it seems like you're going to be around like level 45 when you complete the campaign. This is based off of Riker, who's another YouTuber. He got access to
Riker.
it and he was level 45. So I'm assuming the devs were wanting people to complete the campaign by 45, and then you can still try the capstone dungeon. But Riker was just mentioning that it was difficult for him. So I'm assuming you want to get to 50 and you kind of want to get a little gear. So that's a little bit easier to do.
Okay. So yeah, so that you're kind of want to be really get your build figured out for that capstone, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Especially your single target damage.
Okay. So
So
it's
just,
gonna be
I
more
mean,
bosses in that dungeon, or what is it like? Kind of like your typical Diablo dungeon, where it's just like mob density and then like some elites and then a boss at the end, or is it just like a giant boss?
The that part is unknown, but it was mentioned that Riker said that he had to attempt to. I don't even think he killed it. Maybe he did. I don't remember. But he struggled with the end boss. So
Okay.
that for sure we know. So we don't know like the whole capstone dungeon thing, but we do know that there's an end boss, which to me tells me that I need to have a single target build ready for that.
Now here's the question I have too. I didn't see anything like this in the server slam, or maybe I just didn't mess around with it. But you know how like, well, actually I don't know if you've seen. So in in Dragonflight, in WoW Dragonflight, they have like a new thing with the talents where you can kind of save like a talent preset. Like, you know, you get your build all figured out, and then you can kind of save it and be like, oh, this is my single target, you know, retribution build or whatever. Or and then you have like an AoE retribution build that you can kind of just click a tab and you can just activate it in one click of a button. Is there something like that in Diablo, or have they talked about that at all? Like where you can just kind of save a preset of a like maybe your single target build and then swap to your
Like a quick swap
yeah.
talents, right?
It was mentioned in a tweet. Someone tweeted at a dev, and they
Okay.
said that that's something that they're looking forward to doing.
Man, I
So
hope so.
it's not in the game currently, as of the server slam.
Okay.
I'm assuming the release is going to be the same way, but it's on the table for them to think about. That's what they tweeted.
Okay, because that would be nice. Because like there was times where I felt like I needed that, like where I wanted to switch my build really quick. You know, even if I had to pay the refund price or whatever, but it would be nice to just click and swap. You know.
Yeah,
I
refunds.
I can't remember, but in Diablo 2 and 3, was there a refund cost for switching builds?
It was a quest that you were able to refund everything, but you can only get it like, you know, like once in normal, once in, you know, like say I think you had 3.
Oh, so that was the thing where like you have one chance and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you had to figure it out after that third one. Like, yeah. So.
okay.
Yeah, it was super punishing
Mhm.
in Diablo 2.
Yep.
You like had to know your build. But in this
Right.
one, everything is free up until level 20, at least on the server slam.
Hmm.
I'm assuming it's going to be
Okay.
the same for. So you can kind of
Have a
what.
leveling build up to 20 and then like switch over to something more.
Yeah, and even after that, you should be generating a lot more gold because the gold drop scales when you level up. So you should be able to even cut out some AOE stuff for bosses and switch
Okay.
to single target stuff.
Okay. So let me get this straight. So what you want to do is you want to rush. So to rush to World Tier 3, you want to do the campaign as fast as possible on World Tier 1, correct? Till
Yep.
about level, you said about level 45ish is where you should probably be after that.
Yep.
And then from there you grind to 50. How, like event grinds? Is that what you were
Yeah.
saying? Or okay.
Events currently, as of the server slam, we're on a 30. Well, some of them were on a 30-second respawn.
Okay.
And I'll also leave a link in a little kind of full map and show a route
Okay.
of all the events that are being spawned. And so you can kind of just walk to each event if they do happen to nerf the respawn times of the events. Because what you could do on the server slam is you can literally finish the event, log out, log back in, and it would put you in a different phase with a new event. So you
Hmm.
can just spam these events over and over and over again, and it would level you up quickly because the kind of quest turn in of the event scales with your level. So the more you level up, the more EXP you get from these events. So they're just super strong to kind of just spam them and level up that way.
So could that be? Would you say that that could be another alternative to the method that you just described? Like, could you do
Yeah,
that?
that's what I was talking about. How the two trains of thoughts is people are
Oh, okay.
probably going to, if they want to rush, are probably just going to spam these events because they
Uh,
scale. They
Mm.
scale with your level, and you also get gear that drops from these events that also scale with your level. So you're still going to be beefy
mhm.
because you're having all these eye level drops that are at your level too.
Now, so with that method, you would eventually still need to do the campaign, right? And does that scale on difficulty with your level? So like, would it be harder if you're like a higher level if you finish it later?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The mob difficulty goes up, and a good way to
Mm.
kind of think about this is let's say like most classes, pretty much all classes are set up to have your generators in the first cluster of your skill tree, your damage, your main core abilities in the second cluster, and then usually like defensives.
Mhm.
So a kind of a good way to look at this is as soon as you hit level 9, because once you hit level 9, you have enough points to basically max out your core skill, and that's a huge power spike. So from 9 to like I think 17 is where you can get your next, like you'll skip over that defensive cluster and then you'll get another offensive cluster, which is another power spike. So you'll keep going through these like ebb and flows of like you hit level 9, you're super strong. 10, 11, 12, the world gets stronger and you get weaker. And then you'll hit that other power spike at like level 17-ish. And then you'll get strong again, and it kind of, and then you'll later on at like level 25, you'll find like a legendary, right? Or even early on, right? Which is another huge power spike. So you'll have like these ebb and flows of like, oh yeah, this is great that I found this, or finally hit level 17. Now I can get like this super OP skill, and you can just kind of trample over the world again.
Dude.
So if you start feeling weak, just keep going.
Yep.
Because
Exactly.
eventually you'll be strong again.
Yep. Exactly.
Dude. Speaking of legendary items, dude, how fun was it doing that? Those body flipping of finding those legendaries in that level 30 zone or whatever.
Oh, God,
That was pretty fun. I don't know. Do you think that's gonna get nerfed, or do you think that's gonna be a thing?
Yeah, it was fun for you and Jesse because you guys got all the fucking legendary weapons. I'm over here stuck with a yellow.
Bro, that dagger I got was like legit.
that
That
was
thing
sick.
was so good. I was just dumping on Ashava with that thing. It was so fun.
And then Jesse's over here. Oh, is this good? It's
He's
like
like,
a
"Oh,
fucking legendary
I got this
staff.
staff. I don't know if it's any good. I'm thinking
Like,
about throwing it away."
That's the thing about being like a casual like me. Like I don't even know if I have something that's good.
It's
Like, I could easily just vendor it, you know?
it's
I'm
what
over
do they
here.
call that? It's like the pity chances or whatever. That's what it is. It's
I'm
like
over here. I'm over here spending like 7 hours farming this place, and Jesse comes in for 30 minutes.
Dude,
It's like, oh man, I got
dude,
like 23 legendaries that I could use.
Dude, you were so triggered too. You're like, what?
Oh my god!
I've been farming this for an hour.
Yeah,
I could like see the tears coming from his eyes.
Yeah, you could smell them through the mic.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
I was all linking it to like my other discords. Like, oh my god, look what my friend got. Oh my god. So what we're referring to is there's strongholds, and I believe there's 3 of them in the first zone, and they scale with like the area scales with the level of the stronghold. So you have like level 15, I think level 20, and then level 30. And so there was I don't know if this is going to remain in the game, but there was a strategy where you just basically go around and there's corpses that are clickable that are able to drop items. And so even though the mobs were level 30, people were just running by and picking these corpses to see if they can get like legendaries. And for some reason, they just dropped. Like you could get like 20 legendaries an hour. It was just like nuts.
Right, the legendary drop rate was like unusually high just for like
Yeah.
bodies on the ground.
Yeah, there was times where I found
Yeah.
there was times where I found 2 in one run, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like just from flipping a body. We didn't even kill anything. We were just running through, just flipping bodies. That was kind of crazy.
Apparently, there were a lot of characters who fell before us.
Who
they
had a bunch of legendaries.
Yeah. They were PvPing over there or something. We just grabbed all their gear.
Yeah, they didn't have the right build, you know.
I can't see something like that staying though, right?
I don't think so either. They're probably gonna. I'm sure they probably caught wind of that.
Remember in like D2, people would like drop a bunch of ears out when people are PvPing.
Oh yeah, and just load everybody's inventory up so they pop.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
Yeah, I don't see them keeping it in either. You know, what is it they say that Blizzard has, like a fun detector? Where anything that's fun, they just shut it off. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I mean, I get it. I guess it's probably not optimal, right, to have people just flipping bodies and
Yeah,
getting
you think?
legendaries. I mean, you want you to
Resetting
kill
it,
people.
flipping bodies, resetting, flipping bodies, resetting.
Yeah. I mean, I got
It,
I got geared up quick doing that. I'm just saying. I mean, they made up for it by allowing us to do that by putting Mother's Day weekend. So
But
there was
that's like why we have people like Tizzle find these little like
yeah,
cheese things to do. Like I would
exactly.
never be able to find something,
Yeah,
even think to do something like that.
we don't have time to find that kind of stuff.
there was something else that was annoying. The treasure goblins didn't
Oh
drop
my gosh,
anything.
yeah, I
Oh
only
yeah,
found
yeah, you're
one,
right,
but it
yeah.
dropped me like nothing. It brought me like a white or a blue or something. I don't even know. Yeah, that was disappointing. But I think I saw something. I saw a tweet saying that they were gonna buff it, or that they buffed it. I mean, too late, but still, at least on launch it'll be better, hopefully.
These stingy goblins, man.
I know, I know.
They're just poor goblins. It's just they live on the wrong side of the track.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about? Oh, wait. Actually, we wanted to talk about the battle pass. You were gonna dive into the battle
Oh
pass.
yeah, yeah, battle pass. Okay, so
Yeah.
why is it not pay to win?
This is Saanchips. This is what he's been waiting for this whole time. He's been kind of like dozing off over there, but this is what he's been wanting to
Yes.
hear.
Why is it not pay to win? Because Diablo Immortal, I would get so angry because all these guys are just buying battle pass, and I'm sitting there grinding and grinding and grinding, and they're just like, "Oh, look at me, I have everything."
Yeah, you were whale food. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like Diablo 4 currently is not pay to win. The only thing that technically is pay to win is the early access. You get 4 days early access if you buy and that's kind of controversial. Some people don't see that as pay to win, but it is a form of
So,
FOMO for sure.
so they came out with some information about the battle pass, saying that it's not like it was in Diablo 4, Immortal, right?
I don't know how Immortal kind of did
Hmm.
their monetization, but from what I looked at, there was no pay to win. They did have some elixirs that gave you buffs. One was an
Hmm.
EXP buff. That was like the major one that I kind of zoned in on. Because I think I remember seeing that you can get like there were levels to it. So there was 4 levels to this elixir or EXP potion. So I'm assuming it started off, I think, and I'm probably wrong about this, but I think it was either 3 or 4%. And if you times it by 4, right, and if it goes up at the same rate, you're looking at like 15%, which is kind of a lot. And so these elixirs could be potentially strong for like just the gameplay. How they did it is they made 3 tiers. So it's kind of like Lost Ark if you played Lost Ark, but the third tier was a really really cool cosmetic that only tier 3 people who purchased the tier 3 battle pass could get. And then tier 2 was another kind of row of cosmetics. And I think there was like 90 something levels to the whole battle pass. And then there's also the free to play tier, and that one is the elixirs. So everyone has access to kind of these advantages in the game. I'm waiting for Jesse to ask about it.
Yeah, I know.
The skip 20 levels.
So yes, I was going to ask about it. How about the whole level skip thing? How is that going to work?
Okay, so they do have a skip, so you can skip like 20 levels.
Hmm.
But how they did it was you only skip the tier 2 levels, which is the cosmetics. So you cannot skip the levels to get like the free to play stuff. So everyone has to play the same amount to get the elixirs for the in-game advantages.
Okay. So the level skip is to get your cosmetics quicker, right?
Exactly.
Not the actual experience elixirs, which that everyone will be same playing field for that, right?
Yep. Everyone's same playing
Mhm.
field.
So if you want to look cool, drop some money.
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
It says the premium is $9.99 and the accelerated is $24.99.
Oh, there you go.
So
See?
if you want
Saanchips is
that
money.
much, well, I'm looking at it because I'm like, I want to look cool.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have like 22 Cry of Ashava mount trophies to stack on my horse.
Too bad he's only getting one. Damn, try hard. You're just gonna look like the rest of us noobs.
It's a sleeper build.
All right, so you said $9.99, and what was the other one?
$24.99, but I'm not sure about that information either. So
That could probably change too. Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think? You gonna get it? You know you want it, dude.
I mean, yeah, I want it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it. We'll see.
You're talking to Ash Ketchum here, dude.
I know. We just need to get you to. We just need to get you some more FanDuel money, man. Then you can just
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
you gotta win some more bets, man. Stop losing bets.
That's all I do.
That's all I have. Do you guys have anything else that you guys wanted to talk about?
I'm just looking forward to the game.
Yeah, I can't
Looking
wait.
forward to the next podcast talking about more in depth class stuff and things like that. So
Dude, speaking of launch, man, I'm so bummed because I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna be on vacation when that comes out, so I'm gonna be behind.
Poor Maddie is
I
gonna
know.
be on vacation.
I kind of needed the free stuff so I can buy the battle pass to catch up, But it's not gonna work for me now. I have no options. I'm just gonna be out of the
Wait,
competition.
are you saying you're not going to be there on the early release or on launch day?
No, on launch day.
Oof.
Yeah, I won't be able to play till like maybe a week after, probably. I'm gonna miss like a whole week, so I'm gonna be behind.
You might have to get the upgraded early access.
Even then, I'm only gonna have like a few days. If I do that, I don't know if I want to drop $100 on this game yet. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking, Saanchips, you said you're gonna play a barb, right? You're gonna play a barb on launch. I'm thinking next episode we're gonna go in detail on a leveling build for Mr. Saanchips over here. What do you think? What do you think about that, Tizzle? We gotta get this guy.
It's Sparta. That's
All
what I
right.
think of
I
that.
don't care as much of a leveling build, but more of just a build that's centered around kick.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Well,
We're doing it.
I vote for the leap, charge, kick build.
The lunging hit or something, and then kick.
So you leap in, you kick the crap out of him, right? And then you just charge him. Boom.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. That's all I want to do.
That's a Saanchips build if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
There you go. We don't even need to do the next episode. It's already done. You already know the build. So that's it. Yeah. So we'll see you next. No, I'm just kidding. No, so that's what we'll talk about on episode 3. We'll go into a barb leveling build for Mr. Saanchips over here.
And then we'll go further on, and after that, and start working on other builds for other classes as well. So
Yeah, and I'll have a spreadsheet ready for anyone who wants to check it out.
Ooh, yeah, spreadsheets.
Yeah.
get the Excel eyes ready.
Get your calculator out.
Turn your monitor this way. So you can, like...
All right, well, that's all I have today, guys. Appreciate you guys joining me for this second episode of the 3 Guys Walk Into a Dungeon podcast. It was really fun. I appreciate, Tizzle, all your insight on the the leveling or the leveling methods and style and all that. So, and Saanchips, I appreciate your love for cosmetics. So we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.